house guests, welcome to today's bbcan 9 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Kevin McPherson and Kansas James. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check it out. Check out our Patreon link in the info box below. My head hurts. Okay, so when we left off yesterday, they had the power veto ceremony. Roe used it on himself because duh. And Austin was put up as the replacement nominee as planned. So now we've got Austin versus Kyle up on the block. And Kyle is Kiefer's target. Austin is getting reassurances from a bunch of different people that she's safe this week. We'll see if that actually sticks because you know nothing is just set in this house. So Kyle and Roe, we're also trying to patch things up with Victoria. I talked about this yesterday. They told her the other side is trying to turn us against each other. They handcuffed us this week. They made us think that you were the only option for a replacement that would keep us both safe. So of course, like, we said your name. But they were saying, like, we were not hard pitching for you specifically to go up. Okay, so Roe was also telling Victoria, you will be my new number one when Kyle goes. You're my new Kyle. And Victoria was playing along, saying, yeah, I'm with you guys. I can't believe the other side would do this. That's, like, her thing. She's going to say that to whoever she's talking to. But she's playing the middle right now. You know, I'm not really sure what she would do if she were to win HOH, but if it's not her, she's going to be loyal to whoever is the HOH that week. So she's a lot of fun to watch. But anyway, yesterday, Tara and Beth cleared the air in the Destiny bedroom. They both heard that they're throwing each other's names around, but they both say that they're not targeting each other. They realize long term, you're good for my game. They both, you know, feel that way about each other, or at least that's what they're saying. So Tara says that she would like to go far in the game with Tina. She says that would be good for other people too, because we're both easy to beat, so we would be good to have around towards the end. And Tara says, I feel like the house likes Tina more than me, because Tara's name is always coming up as a target. Tina, not as much. I mean, we know that that's because Tina was in the Sunsetters, so her name is not flying around as much. But Beth is like, yeah, all right, I want to build some trust with you. And she tells Tara, so I have said your name in the past. You know, she admits that she has said that she would put Tara up if she were to win HOH. And Tara says, that's okay if you said that. You know, I care more about actions. It's not like you ever actually did that, because she didn't want it, George. But she says that's fine. Because we know, too, that Tara has talked a lot of crap about Beth. So they discuss this week's vote a little bit, and Beth confirms that she wants Kyle to go this week. But then Tara is like, well, I see you're really close to Jed and Ty. You know, would you be able to go to the end with them? Like, do you think those guys would bring you to the end, or would they take each other to the end? So Beth is like, yeah, I mean, that's a huge thing that I have to think about. I gotta figure out if that's gonna be good for me or not. So Tara's like, well, would you want to keep someone like Kyle who could potentially strike at Ty and Jed, or no? Oh my god! That was bold. But Beth is like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. They agree that Austin is a really hardcore player, so, like, getting her out instead of Kyle wouldn't be terrible for either of them. They're having a hard time figuring out where exactly Austin stands, so that's making them uneasy. So then the feeds go down for a few minutes, and when they come back, they're discussing again how it doesn't make sense for them to target each other. They want to work together. They both say, I have no idea what I would do if I won HOH. Sure. But it's interesting, you know, that Tara and Beth are talking about potentially maybe keeping Kyle. We'll see. All right, so then a little later, Tara and Beth were in the HOH room with Kiefer, Ty, Jed, and Tina. So that's the Sunsetters plus Tara. And Tara's like, well, we know you guys were a little cheesed about last week's vote. You mean, like, the blind side? Yeah, I don't think they were super happy about it. But Tara says, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page this week. You know, everybody's on board with what we're doing here. So they seem to agree, yeah, Kyle is going to be the one going this week. Jed says Kyle is telling people that he would come after us if he stays, so we're sending him home. And they figure it's probably going to be a unanimous vote except for Roe, because Brayden is not going to vote out Austin. Victoria is with them because they have the numbers right now. So they're figuring it's probably going to be almost unanimous. They're not even sure if Kyle's going to try to campaign. He hasn't really been doing that yet. Which sounds crazy, right? Like, maybe he's just waiting because there's, like, still 3 days left. But, like, is he going to campaign? I'm getting a little worried that he's not. But everybody says he seems really at peace with going. Also, he's up on the block against Austin, and they have, like, they're, like, on the verge of a showmance, but, like, you guys just met a few weeks ago. Like, get it together here. I don't know. It's just, like, freaking me out that nobody's campaigning. Again. This is not even the first week that we've had like this. But Tara kind of pivots the conversation a little bit. She's like, I'm hoping we can all open up some more communication amongst this group moving forward. And then she's a lot. Tara is like, so are you guys going to come after me and Tina once Kyle's gone? She's talking to, like, Jed, Ty, and Beth, who she keeps referring to, like, as a trio in this conversation, which I'm sure is not making them feel super great. But also, like, what the F? You're going to ask them if they're going to come after you once Kyle's gone? What are they going to say? Yes. I mean, really. But Jed says no. I want to go after the people associated with Kyle. So Austin, Roe, and Brayden. I guess that was good enough for Tara. They agree that they're not going to dwell on what happened last week. They got to win the next HOH and keep the momentum going. Sounds so easy, right? Okay, so then I've got a throuple update for you. This update is very Beth heavy today. But Beth seems to be working on Jed more lately, and I'm pretty sure the reason for that is that Ty told Beth that there's a girl at home that he's really into. I think she's like his best friend or something. I don't know, whatever. But I'm sure Beth was kind of like, oh, well, what am I doing then? So she's focusing more on Jed now. But Beth was in the storage room with Jed, and she jokes that, like, she was just weighing out her options before, but now she's chosen Jed. Right. It's not that Ty is into somebody else at home. But then they talk about when Jed's crush on Beth began. He said that he was jealous that she was sharing a bed with Ty. So he started flirting with her during the day. I'm sorry, but Jed talks about Beth a lot in terms of, like, wins and losses, which just feels weird. Like, he's just competing with Ty for Beth. I don't know, it's weird. Also, the kisses feel, like, super forced and awkward, and, like, nah. We did get a little piece of game in this discussion, though. Jed was telling Beth, don't let Tara get in your head, like, about keeping Kyle this week. We'll see. Okay, so then the feeds went down right before last night's episode started airing, and they stayed down all night. Turns out BB gave them a They gave them a party with food and alcohol, and the have-nots got to enjoy this as well. And it sounds like it was really freaking crazy with, like, lap dances and Victoria, like, doing splits or something and, like, all this crazy stuff. But, of course, the feeds were blocked for it because they're not going to show us anything fun like that. But the feeds came back this morning, and many of them were in rough shape. Just, like, hung the hell over. Also this morning, Beth was having a little game chat with Ty in the HOH room. And they're talking about next week. Beth says, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Tara or Tina won the next HOH. She's feeling really good after her discussion with Tara. She feels more comfortable with her now. So she's like, let other people do our dirty work for us. Ty agrees it's still too early for anyone from the throuple to win HOH. And Beth agrees, if any of us win, it's going to put blood on all three of our hands because everybody is associating us with each other. So then another idea for next week, Ty says they need to frame Austin, Brayden, and Roe as a trio to try and take the attention off of their throuple. And they want to split up Austin and Brayden next week. And when they say that, they mean they want Austin to go. Because Beth has been wanting to pull in Brayden and have him all to herself for a while now. So they definitely want to target Austin before Brayden. But Beth is kind of freaking out. She feels like Austin is targeting her. I think Austin wants to split up Ty and Jed first, but that's just what I'm thinking and what I've seen. But Beth says she's so scared of Austin, and she says a part of me wants her to go home instead this week, to be honest with you. And Ty's like, that's what I've said from the start. He has been wanting Austin out like this whole entire week. He was an early advocate for that. He says Austin is the most dangerous. He says we're going to have a harder time sending her home later in the game. So we'd be better off taking her out now. So Beth is like, yeah, Kyle's not even that good. She feels like they're going to be missing a big opportunity if they don't take out Austin this week. And she's saying, we can just go ahead and put up Kyle and Roe again next week, you know? So they agree. This is something they really need to think about, talk about with Jed and Kiefer, figure out, like, if they're really making the best move by taking out Kyle. Is Tara getting in Beth's head? So then the feeds went down for a little bit, and we find out that Roe got to skip the slop. Thank goodness, because it's really messed up that they keep putting him on slop. And then we have a few more random bits from today. Carb has rebranded themselves as the Nerd Herd. So, like, did they watch season 6 of the US one, or no? I don't know. But, yeah, they've rebranded. So, just to remind you, that is Kyle, Austin, Roe, and Brayden. An update on the campaigning. There hasn't been any. Neither Kyle nor Austin have really been campaigning yet. Is this going to be like a thing this season, or what? I mean, it happened last week too. There was like barely any campaigning. I feel like there's even less this week. I mean, we still have a few days left, but are you guys going to like start soon or what? I don't know. So there have been some discussions, however, about the vote happening. Vic, Ty, Jed, Beth, and Kiefer were all chatting. And there's been a lot of anti-Austin sentiment. You know, the movement is growing to get rid of Austin this week instead of Kyle. Victoria has been saying that Austin wants Ty to get backdoored, like next week or whatever. He's really freaked out about that. He does not like that, and he's already saying that he wants her out, so that's just like the cherry on top, right? But Kiefer keeps reiterating that he wants Kyle out this week, so he is really the one that's putting a stop to this right now. Tina also talked to Kiefer, and it seems like she wants Austin out as well. She's like, we don't know what Austin would do if she were to win HOH. You know, we know where Kyle and Rose stand. So, again, Kiefer saying, I got a gut feeling. I don't want to go against that. So, in other news, Ro talked to Victoria again. He's telling her, you'll be my number one when Kyle goes. And he's trying to reform the oddballs. So that would be Ro, Vic, Austin, Brayden. Am I missing anybody? Tina, Tara. There we go. But Victoria's skeptical about this. She's like, I don't know. Don't you guys already have like an alliance of 4? I'm not super into that. She doesn't want to just be like this add-on that is thrown under the bus the second they need a scapegoat, which is what happened this week. So she's like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So we've got 2 days left until the eviction. Campaigning or not, I'm sure there will still be waffling. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Austin ended up going this week, because there seem to be a lot of people who want to take her out. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this shapes up. If Kiefer is able to get what he wants, or if everybody is just going to be like, no, this is what we're doing. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. And until next time, much love.